Isaka chapter Ahmedabad, welcome. No, I don't want to set. Welcomes you to the seminar. Uh, Today, the most important and most dynamic chapter which I have heard, I have learned in my career called Business Continuity Management. What is BCP? You know, whole. एक second. Yeah, okay. Okay. एक second. So when I started my business, basically I'm a chartered accountant, and we are running a chapter called Isaka chapter Ahmedabad. And a few years back, I had been to China, and I see that China and India. I've seen China there for 8 months. I know what is the advantage of China. I know because I'd stayed and brought up in India, so I know what is the lacuna of India. And I took a vision before 15 years that I would, as our whole country, we would beat China. For that, I need to, per our rate of our all professional should go up. If that is there, rest is the story. And for that, I decided to study a lot. So I did my CISA, CSM, n number of courses. So per hour rate of my staff has gone up as compared to other CA. And I want the same for other professionals. So I decided to take a call by giving continuous education through our blog and different forum. Today, we are going to listen to Mr. Falgun Bhai. His champion on its own. He had informed me that I learned the subject on 2001 on this subject. Okay, and we were discussing on that subject. And I'm a CA firm where our server goes down for 2 hours or a day. It doesn't affect much because I can suppose today is a Friday. If I don't do work today, I can do it on Saturday. Nothing is going to lose. If it is last day, I have a number of person who are around me, and I do have a backup. I can work on some C other form. I required only one computer or two computers to finish the job. But what is my cost if my business is done? So my whole staff, if I calculate the cost, it will come to X rupees. Okay, is it my cost of having a no plan or a bad plan for BCP? No. It's about my 10x which I'm going to revenue generate would be my this thing. Then Mr. Falgun says that, is it not going to affect your reputation? Is it not going to affect in terms of your legal cost? Is it not going to affect this cost? I'm like, no. In my case, it's only 10x. But if it comes to bank, it would be 1000x. If it goes to some pharmaceutical company, it goes to 1000, 10,000x. If it is ISRO, who is sending this thing, his cost would be टक टक टक. मोदी साहब सीधा इसरो के चेयरमैन का रेजिग्नेशन ले लेंगे. And if it goes to, say for example, a nuclear plant, gone, it goes to some hospital. Do you know what would be the cost? It can cost an enormous, sometimes, I had heard in one of the case where one hospital was hacked by someone. Because of that, 3 people died because that hospital was not able to serve the patient and had been sued by the government for doing not continued BCP. So that is the importance of BCP. So we are lucky to have Falgun Bhai. I just threaten you. No, I just not threaten you. I make you aware about your cost of BCP. I'm not threatening you. I'm just making you aware What is business continuity? What is the importance of business continuity management? With this, I hand over the mic to Falgun Bhai. Those who want CP can just write me about name, CP, membership number, mobile number, email ID. I'll issue the certificate within a day or two. Last time I could not issue in time, but now I'm well prepared. Okay, so I'm running an NGO, so I don't want to allot so much time and money for that. But I assure you, every week there is going to be some or different seminar. Next Friday, we are going to give you seminar on GST updates. GST is a dynamic subject and is the most important law in the years to come, because income tax would become a very in the revenue generated from income tax would be X. The revenue generated from GST would be, I don't know, don't want to guess this, but GST would be heart and beats of the people. With this, I hand over the mic to Falgun Bhai. Falgun Bhai, you introduce 2-3 minutes of you, and Mr. Falgun Bhai has agreed to share his PPT as well as his presentation, which will be recorded and would be available to you on a blog at Nitin blogspot.com. Thanks, Falgun Bhai, and thanks for accepting our invitation and the business of ISACA chapter Ahmedabad. ISACA chapter owes you a lot, and we'll send you a photograph and all these things to you. With this, I hand over the mic to him.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ISACA Ahmedabad. Thank you, Nitin, sir, as well as the people, the team members of ISACA who have inspired me for like taking in session on this. So thank you so much once again. And I've been in continuous part of ISACA on the WhatsApp and everything. I'm also a member of ISACA, and this is how this is my first presentation for ISACA Ahmedabad chapter, and that's one of the most important topic that we are having today in this session is business continuity management. Okay, so most of the things like the people from information security domain and other people are more inclined towards the three important cybersecurity domain, subdomain: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. But mostly the people are inclined towards confidentiality and integrity, but people forgets about the availability actually. And they think there are a lot of cybersecurity controls that we are having in information security, specifically designed for information, specifically designed for confidentiality and integrity. So today we are more focused on learning how we can be available, how our resources, how the PPT, people process and our technology, can be available to the business. Okay, so the session, as sir said, it would be available, and the session goes like this. This is the agenda. Okay. Okay. So this is the agenda to understand the business continuity management. As I said, the things that we need to learn, specifically, as I said, the availability. And sir has already given the example how it is crucial for a business, for the business or for any entity in the business. The profile, my profile and everything. So let's start. That's my profile. I'm managing director, CTO, and CISO to many virtual CISO to many organization, and Times Man of the Year 2023 for the excellence in cybersecurity education. It's been more than 15 years I'm into this industry. I'm ISO 22301 BCM internal auditor, as well as I'm Six Sigma Green Belt certified, as well as I'm also project management essential certified and ITSM associate. I've been also listed in India's top 10 ethical hacker and top 10 cyber cops of India. And there are a lot of certifications that I own. I've been part of multiple multiple projects, more than 400 projects that I have completed so far globally. And I've been taking a lot of sessions across different institutions for ethical hacking, cybersecurity domains, ISO 27000, and so on. I've been member of ISACA, I'm member of DSCI, and member of different institutions. So the thing that we are here for, that's in business continuity management. So BCMS is a very comprehensive approach that very few people are aware with. Okay, like it talks about organizational resilience. So basically, if incident occur, then how we can take, what actions needs to be taken care of, so that our critical business processes should run effectively and we would not be into that much of loss. Okay, it's in process of proper planning, execution in case of any incidents are happening. Generally, what happens whenever such kind of cases, incidents, people don't know what actions that needs to be taken care of. Let's take a very simple example. Uh, if a person gets a heart attack or there is an accident occur on the road, so people are more like will create an hoax, and they would not be taking an immediate actions what needs to be taken care of at that period of in time, because they are totally in different zone. So at that time, you have to rely on your logic and your knowledge and a lot of other things, and you need to take the actions. So the actions that needs to be taken care of, that we will learn, and what are the planning, what are the things that we need to take care of, we are going to learn in this session. So basically BCMS, that is ISO 22301, it provides a structure for an organization in order to update, control, and deploy effective plans for BCM, business continuity management. The capabilities the organization should have. I must say that there are a lot of companies, and Indian government is doing a very important, like the NDRF that we are having. They are playing a very important and crucial role for taking BCM approach, and they are trying to implement a lot of controls nowadays. Just recently, few days back, many of you people have received from India, they have received an alert message on their screen for it. It was just general tasting message that everyone has received on their as a flash message on their screen. So in case of any crucial thing, any incident is going to occur, the Indian government can send a message to everyone on their flash screen. Okay, so it was sent by the TRAI and Telecom Authority of India, and the same goes with Japan. Japan is known for BCMS approach from a long period of time. Okay, so we can, there are a lot of case studies from Japan, and there have been a lot of incidents that have been occurred in the Japan that we can learn from. Okay, so basically there are every incident comes with an learning. Okay, so BCM approach is an old ISO approach, that's an PDCA approach, and the BCM, the ISO 22301 was last time revised in the year of 2019. And this is the approach, and the old ISO approach is the same for this, the PDCA approach, plan, do, check, act. So basically what needs to be planned? We need to plan out the policies, proper business continuity and disaster recovery policies, backup processes, backup plans, contingency plans we need to create. We need to create a steering committee, those who would be playing an important role. People nowadays don't have a proper incident management matrices. They do have incident management procedures. They do have a process flow. They do have a communication chart, but they don't know they don't have the SLA defined for incident that is going to take care of that is going to happen. They don't have a proper disciplinary actions, or they don't have proper business like what are the business kind of incidents that is going to happen, then what would be the loss to the organization. So we need to identify the BIA, business impact assessment, is not been carried out. So these are the things that people and organization needs to take care of. Documentation and records are never in place for the business continuity management. People don't care of or don't have the records for the drills that they are doing. The proper drills are not being done. People, most of the time, I have done more than 400 projects so far in 15 years of experience. I have seen companies, the very big companies, they don't have any of their records of business continuity in place. They don't have any real records. Basically what they do is just sending a presentation, doing an tabletop exercise. They don't basically on the production environment, they don't do it, but actually it needs to be done anyhow, because it's the most important business process that you are having. If something is going to happen, then the whole business will shut down. Okay, so the planning is the most important thing, that and most of the time that needs to be spent on the planning phase itself. Do as I said, performance business impact assessment, doing and risk assessment, because we need to take care of the business processes, the criticality of the business, the resources where the whole business relies on. We need to do a risk assessment, and only on that, I would suggest that at least there should be given the priority, and a proper risk assessment needs to be done. We can identify the strategies not on the tabletop exercise, but at least on the not on the production environment, but on the testing environment. At least we can perform the drills. Okay, develop and implement in response. So if something goes wrong, what would be the next phase? How we are going to respond to that particular incident or event? Exercise. So exercise is the most important, as we said, the drills. So we need to do on regular exercises. So it needs to be, it is not like every year we need to perform. Every period of in time, after every quarterly, we need to do this drills, and we need to exercise this. Okay, so basically, if something is going to happen, we should be well prepared, because no one is going to remember what happened 1 year back. Okay, so internal audits needs to be done, where we can identify the documentation, the committee, everyone should be aware the records are as per the plan or not. Management review meetings, so it goes like as per ISO only. Act, so corrective and preventive actions and continuous improvement, and that's the only thing that we need to focus on. So that's in general ISO 27000, the process. Okay, so ISO 22301 business continuity plan examples, the things that we need to carry out, the all the important cycle we have mentioned it over here. The first thing is in purpose, scope, and the users who are going to be a part of this process of this business continuity plan. So purpose needs to be defined, the scope needs to be defined in a proper way. So let's take an example. A Pune system has got some kind of an issue. It is absolutely fine. We can we can tolerate the loss that occurred due to the system loss of that particular Pune. But what if the head of department system got some kind of an issue, and that would be, so basically the scope needs to be defined in proper way, and the users that are going to be a part of this, assumptions, whatever the assumptions, the exceptions or assumptions that we can make, the key contexts that are going to play an important part, including your legal team, including your HR team, including your PR team, including your incident response team, including your digital forensics, DFIR team, including your BCP and DR team. Okay, so everyone, and especially special group context needs to be there, so that if something goes wrong, we can have them at any point of contact. Okay, so the next one is in communication channel. We just recently received a message by one of our member in the in our group, WhatsApp group. So that's an communication. Lack of communication is going to play an lack of communication will create a disastrous moment in this situation. Okay, so communication should be well defined in all the modes of possibilities. Okay, it could be WhatsApp communication, it could be email communication. A incident that is happening on the data centers of any organization, they need to inform every stakeholder, every customer of them, and it is in statutory and regulatory compliance part as well. So communication needs to be there in a proper way. physical sites and transportations. Okay, so if we are having something, like take an example, we are having only one office in Ahmedabad and another office in Bangalore. So if something happens in Ahmedabad, we are at least having another office in Bangalore. So same way, we are having multiple backups. For what purpose? We are having the backups as in part of our business continuity plan only. So that is the reason. In the same way, we are having the data as our we are having the backup of our data. The same way, we need to take care of our resources that we are having, the businesses that we are having, recovery plans for activity. We generally we have a lot of recovery plans. Okay, we have proper presentation defined, we have a procedure defined, but basically how many of you people and how many of an organizations have actually carried out the exercise as per the recovery plans? How many of you people have actually recovered and basically did an exercise on that particular backup that has been taken care of? Okay, so required resources, people don't have an required resources as well, that if something goes wrong, they don't have an hard disk. Okay, they don't have any cloud infra, they don't have any on-site infra, they don't have the resources in terms of people as well. They don't know that how we need to take care of this kind of incident that is going to happen. Indian companies and most of the companies across the globe needs to have a proper BCM team. Okay, BCM DR team, like we are having an IT team or like we are having an IT security team. In the same way, we should have at least one person that is going to take care of. And it is the most important thing. What if the whole business goes down? You are having, you have to rely on this one person who is going to carry out all these activities and who is going to be the keynote person, and he would be the responsible to make sure that we are going to tolerate as much as less possible business losses. Okay, so reference documents, role responsibilities, plan activation and deactivations, incident response order of recovery for activities, disaster recovery plan, restoring and resuming activities from tampering measures. So all of this proper key components for the ISO 22301. The core concepts behind this ISO 22301 are the same like any other company, any other ISO 27, ISO 27000 or 9000 or any other ISO. So context of the organization needs to be very well defined. So these are the environment operates within this internal and external factors that is going to affect your business continuity plan. Okay, the company is having the premises in maybe in Ahmedabad, maybe somewhere else. Like let's take an example. If there is any organization based out of any rural area in Rajasthan, then they would be having a lot of electricity failures. They might be having a lot of other kind of issues of resources and a lot of other things. Then let's take a strike can like even in a major cities, a strike can happen. There might be an communal issues that we may face. So basically, we need to take care of that 0.1% probabilities. Okay, interested parties. So we need to have all the interested party within our business continuity management planning, so that if anything goes wrong, then we might have need that people, the decisions, the knowledge, and everyone needs to be involved in this particular period of in time. You might have received a lot of email and messages that your internet banking is not going to work between this period of in time to this period of in time. So basically, at that period of in time, at least the customer is aware that we should not do any kind of transaction with this period of in time. Okay, so interested parties, leadership, yes, requirement specific to top management who are defined as in part of who basically directs the whole team and who controls all the effective factors that are going to play an important role in BCM. Performance evaluation, yes. So we need to have a proper evaluation of the performance that we are going to do in the implementation part of our BCM. A maximum acceptable outage, as we discussed earlier, that the time it would take for adverse impacts to become unacceptable. So this is the same as maximum tolerable period of disruption, MTPD, as well. So this is the period of time that we can we are accepting, and we don't have to rely on anything else within this period of time. But if it goes beyond that, then it is going to be a very big issue to us, to the organization. Okay, minimum business continuity objective. So minimum level of services product that is acceptable to the organization to achieve its business rules and continuity. Prioritize timeframes, order and timing of recovery for critical activities. So let's take an example. If we are having all our backup, all our data on the cloud, then we call it as an hot site and then cold site. So cold site is in tapes, or basically the external hard disk that we can have all our data kept on that, and we can take that particular. So the timing for recovery would be much more in from the tapes and from the hard disk. But at the same time, if we are getting it from the cloud, the time would be very less. The recovery time would be very less. Warning and communication, the communication plan. So activities undertaken during an incident. So basically, what if any kind of incident is going to happen, then what are the things that we need to take care of, or how the warnings would be displayed and how the communication would take place. So here I have specified for the IT infrastructure and the business continuity strategy for the IT infrastructure, specifically for the IT people and IT department. Get management support. It is the most important thing, that we should have a proper support from the management, because they are the key stakeholders, those who are going to permit us to take down our infrastructure for a period of time for maintenance or for exercise, or having the drills. Identify key requirements, define the BCMS scope, the things that we need to have in our scope. So we can exclude a lot of things, but I would request not to exclude the things which are the pioneer or which are the base of your businesses. Okay, so don't exclude that particular environment, that IT infrastructure. Okay, and most of the companies are going to do that because they don't want to become like they don't want to carry out any of the things on that particular production environment. Okay, so I would request them that create another environment, and at that period of time you can switch to that staging environment, and you can carry out every of your practice on the production environment. That's our suggestion. Define processes and procedure. So basically we do not need to rely on the people. We can rely on the proper policies, procedures, processes. Implement processes and procedures. Create or use training and awareness programs, so every next person would be aware that okay, these are the things that have taken place. Choose a reasonable certification body for conducting ISO 22301 certificate. Operate the BCMS, measure your systems, conduct internal audits, conduct management review, implement corrective actions. Stage 1 certification audit and stage 2 certification audits. That's again a very general thing in terms of ISO. So many people who are aware about ISO, they might be aware about the things that I'm talking about. Okay, business continuity strategy for IT infrastructure, same thing, PDCA, but with a different approach. Management cycle, proper planning, definition, presentation, implementation, review and improvement. Ongoing activities, so expertise and selection of the auditors, those who are going to be a part of your BCM. Audit criteria and the scope is the again most important thing, as we discussed earlier in the earlier slides. Audit activities, reporting, audit documentation, audit control documentation. Now this is the whole framework of the BCMS, so ISO 22301. So the first thing that we need to have is a proper business context. Until and unless you don't have a proper context of what you are going to deal with, you can never create a proper BCM plan, or you can never have that particular drills in place. So yes, the fire drills, as I said, no one has carried out a fire drill in the washroom area. Yes, because it is not one of the important part. So that's how it works. We need to have a proper context defined for our businesses. So we need to create the scope, and we need to have a proper system, proper processes, that how we are going to implement, what are the things that need to be established. So scope and BCMS, the system we are going to define, create. The second one is the leadership. The leadership means not we are talking in terms about the stakeholders, or we are not talking in terms about the proper the people who are going to play an top role in the BCM, but here I'm talking about each and every person who are going to be a part of BCM. Okay, so even a small incident responder is going to play a very important role. So leadership and commitment is the first thing for the people who are going to be a part of this. Let's take an example, a communication. The person who is not willing to take up your call at 2 a.m. in the night, then definitely it is he can't be into your team of this particular process, because he is not going to he is not even responding in a regular operations. Then how he is going to respond in your regular? So you need to have such kind of people, and the leadership, the commitment towards achieving the same goal that the other stakeholders are having. Okay, so personnel are encouraged to contribute. The continual improvement needs to be there. The policies, objectives, and targets are met. So these are the things that we need to take care while talking in terms of leadership. Business continuity policy. So governs day-to-day operations. As Nitin sir said that what if one systems goes down, one node is down, then how much time it would take to recover from that particular system, how much time it will take to repair those system. So there is an X cost that would be involved, but for X company that would be an X amount. So we need to calculate the amount, and this can only be done when the business impact assessments are carried out, because we don't know what is the impact that is going to be created if that particular system is going to be down. Okay, so reviewed, this should be reviewed annually. The business continuity policy, rules and responsibilities should be very clearly defined, so that they should be aware about their KRA. They should be aware about what are the corrective and preventive actions that needs to be taken care of. Certain empaneled, sorry, not certain empaneled, but certain, that's in computer emergency response team, also carried out a lot of training programs, and there are a lot of training happening for the BCM and DR approach. So I believe that all the people who are interested should go for such kind of trainings and should go for such kind of seminar. And this is a very big thing in the market actually, but people are not well versed with this, I think. So that is the reason we lack, and that's how we are getting affected every now and then. Let's take an example about the corona. Okay, so any pandemic event, not in terms of corona, but any pandemic event, so we are not ready. We have not ready till now, but now we are ready for work from home environment or anything as a backup. So that's the reason we have this session. So planning, addressing risk and opportunities. So we need to understand the risk associated with any of the business critical processes, assets. Okay. Establishing and achieving business continuity objectives. So that is again an important thing, that these are the minimum things that we need to achieve in terms of our business. Minimum disruption should occur. Okay. So the integrity, yes, integrity is also an important thing. Just few days back, I was just going through an backup process, and in the backup, I have found that the backup is not occurring from last 15 days. Okay, since last 15 days, the backup process is going fine, but there was some error that we were facing in that terms, and no one took care of that particular error. So what if just 2 or 3 days back, if some incident that has took place and we want to recover that data, or we want to recover from the backup, then we were at basically we were no we are not going to recover those kind of data or those kind of backups, that because of that errors. Okay, so integrity will be also playing, and that is the reason exercise needs to be done, drills needs to be done every now and then. Okay, so drills can be defined in terms of how crucial and how basically the business, by taking a lot of different factors and by talking to the stakeholders, every stakeholders possible. Planning actions to achieve our business continuity objective. Same thing, what will be done, what resources will be required, who will be responsible, and when it will be completed. So everything needs to be done in your plan. Okay, change management. So let's take an example. Meanwhile, after completing the whole exercise, and we like there is something that is coming in that we have learned so far, and we are going to implement that things. So basically, change management should always be in that particular terms. Support, we will always require the support from n number of users. So we will require all the resources in place while defining a proper business continuity plan. Okay, doing an exercise. So communication should always be there. So communication and communication. So here, that is the reason we have mentioned communication twice, because these are the continuous. Because I have seen a lot of places where the IT department, one person, two people in the same IT department, one person is aware, but the another person is not aware about the same communication that has happened so far. Okay, so this thing should not happen. You have to take it as a leader, and you have to make sure that every person from your team is aligned to that process, is aligned to that particular policy. Okay, and everyone is communicated at the same point of time. Support, documentation and records. So far, for doing an internal audits, and we are there are a lot of auditors who are who are already a part of ISACA, and we know that documentation and records are one of the important part. Control of documents, control of records. So if something is going to be there, then we can take care of or we can take the lessons, or we do have the records that will help us to grow. Okay, that will help us to define that yes, the things are in place. Okay, the next important thing is an operation. So for the workforce that is going to be a part of this whole BCM journey, so far the leadership, the commitment from the leaders, evidence-based decisions making. So it should not be like we are just taking some input from any of the webinar or any of the session that we took online, offline, or any of the book that we have gone through from the BCM, and we are going to implement those things. No, it is not like that. You need to think about the scope, your context, your assets, your resources, your stakeholders, your business processes, your market, everything. And on these are the things that you need to take care of. And on the basis of that, you are going to you are going to exercise, you are going to drill, and the things that are going to be a part of your conclusion from the drills and from your exercises, BCM exercises, those are the evidences, and from that we need to take the decisions. Okay, So relationship management, yes, we need a lot of people in this particular journey. So we need to take care of, like, many of vendors, third-party suppliers would be a part of this. So yes, we will require a lot of good practices that needs to be followed for the for as a part of relationship management. Improvement, yes, and this is why we are here. The improvement, it's a continuous improvement that we can have. Okay, again, so that was just a mistake. Okay, presentation mistake. Fine. Next one is an operations again. So identify the risk that are associated with your business critical processes. Analyze your assets, your resources, and collect information, so you can perform further analysis. You can evaluate the risk and make recommendation that these are the things that you need to take care of. Okay, discuss and agree, so you can agree with your department, with your keynote stakeholders, and you can also hand over the process of monitoring and reporting to anyone else as well. Sorry. This is the proper risk management as per 27005. So risk treatment options are always there. You can reduce the risk, you can retain the risk, you can avoid the risk, or you can transfer the risk. And the remaining still risk is known as residual risk. So that's an performance evaluation. Okay, so performance evaluation can be done once you are having a proper KRA, KPI defined. So monitoring should be an periodically task, measurement, analysis, and evaluation. Internal audits should be done so that we can identify if somewhere we are going wrong or not. Management review, obviously. Okay. So the most important part for every ISO and for every organization, why we are implementing these things, why we are implementing best practices to improve ourselves. Sorry. To improve ourselves. Okay, so non-conformity and corrective actions should always be there. Deficiency would be there. Then we have to work on that so that we can reduce our risk and we can work on more efficient in a more efficient manner in order to protect our assets and process our business process. And as we learn that continuous improvement needs to be done. So this is the annexer of BCMS, the control objectives and the controls. So as per ISO 27000, we are also having some or any other standards, we are also having some of the controls over here, the major control objectives. Okay. So that's what we are having. So organization of business continuity, human resource security, obviously, HR, the people. So as we before starting the sessions we have learned so far was PPT, people, process, and technology. So availability should always be there in all this particular subdomains. Asset management, yeah. If we are not aware about the assets that we are having in our business processes, then we may create a lot of issue, and asset management always would be in playing an important role, and that is the reason that it is on the third point. Access controls are properly designed, security controls are defined as per the best practices. Cryptography, the controls, one of the most important control in terms of integrity and confidentiality. Physical and environmental security, operation security, communication security, acquisition, development, maintenance of information systems, business continuity in supplier relationships. See, here we are talking about business continuity in supplier relationship. So it might the people from the manufacturing background or manufacturing like industries, they might have gone through such kind of things that supplier is not able to provide you the supplies at a period of time. It is going to create a lot of major issue. It will also create a rise in your in the pricing as well. Okay, business continuity, incident management. So if the business is not continuing properly, we might face some kind of an incident, and how we can manage those, business continuity management, and so on. So there are a lot of benefits of having ISO 22301 compliant. So it is not like it is one of the best practice that we can have. It is not like we need to go for a certification, but at least an implementation will play a very important role for the organization. So we can protect our assets, we can have the turnaround and the profits, ensure continuity of the business operations. So we will never get down. So I must say the people who are having the business on the tenders, okay, those who are filling the tenders and getting the tenders, so they have the proper deadlines. If they are not going to follow the deadlines, then they will face a lot of legal issues, operational cost, and there are a lot of cost involved within. Okay, and that is going to create increase competitive advantage and enhance corporate reputation. But obvious that your companies, your organization is always 24 into 7 available. Okay, so that's one of the most important and interesting thing for any organization. The client would be more than happy. Yeah. Meet legal and regulatory requirements, obtain an independent assessment of your security posture, protect your organization reputation. So there are a lot of n number of benefits, boost employees morale as well, build your relationship with the third parties and subsidiaries. Your vendor would be, your client would be more than more than like they would be happy. And because you are always available, and you have that particular proper things in place, help you meet regulatory requirements as discussed. So it was definitely going to protect your business, gives some trust to your business, helps manage business associated risk, increase our competitive edge as well. And there are a lot of case studies, and that is the reason I have put this screen blank, because you guys, every person who is going through this session would be aware that would be aware about the cases associated with business continuity management. Okay, there have been n number of cases where ransomware attack has took place, and the operations was down for more than 2 days, 3 days, or maybe for a whole week. So what kind of a disaster that took place within that organization? And there have been X cost that was involved, and to recover from such kind of incidents. Okay, so the hospitals attack, the attack on the hospitals, ransomware attack on the hospitals, and the unavailability of the resources is definitely, I cannot even calculate the amount that an organization lost. But yes, that would be a very huge amount that XYZ organization has to bear. Yes. So WhatsApp was down for more than 24 hours just few years back, few months back. There have been n number of very big organizations where their whole application, the whole business was down, and they have faced like $1 billion loss because of this kind of issues. Okay, because of unavailability of the resources. So that was the whole session about, and about the BCM. And yes, I have tried my level best to make up everything possible within the time frame. So if any questions are there, then I would be happy to answer. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of this.
Hello, friends. Any question? You are allowed to unmute yourself. No. Okay, I'm just here. You can unmute yourself and ask a question. You are unmute themselves. Yes. Yes, friends. It was a wonderful talk on the subject called business continuity management. Sandeep Pandya, welcome for this. Send me your mobile ISACA membership number. I'll take care of that. Okay. And I'll see that you get a CP award certificate very soon.
Last time I had a delay, but this time it won't be delay. Any question? Anybody is allowed? Everybody is allowed to unmute themselves. Adarsh, Paumik, Karthik, Man, Sandeep Bhai. Right now, I'm available for talk. Okay. You know, last time when the election was fought for a presidential candidate between in USA, okay, there was the Trump said that. Trump at the time of election says that there is a so much hacking was done that between one embassy and another embassy, he would send all the data physically. He would not send through computer. Okay, I give an example. Suppose ISRO has done this. अपने चंद्रयान जो भी प्रज्ञा जो भी है वो, it can be hacked. Now, what is the level of security they need? Absolutely high. But you cannot say that you are 100% secure. If you put anything in the क्या बोलते Asia Pacific downstairs, but still you are not very safe, 100% safe. Only relative safety is there. I run an office, Pragyan run an office, anyone run office. So BCP is compared with profitability of the organization. You cannot, suppose one CA is working or one person is working, he said, I want to be 100% BCP. He cannot run his office. So BCP depends on the perspective of the management. It has to be taken a call by the management, what security, what BCP they want. So, nowadays, China has professional hackers. And if you look at the way now, I'll share you the link which has been I'd heard about in NDTV. NDTV has made a documentary. How much cyber fraud is happening and how much money is losing in a year. How many complaints are made? How many complaints are resolved? And how much government is aware about what is happening? I tell you, the government is very much aware what is happening in this area of cyber. They know what it's doing, what they can do, what they cannot do. But still, India is far, far behind as compared to China and USA. We need to focus. We need to grow. No, gone are the days when people come to your place, वो ताला तोड़ के वो जो गैंग नहीं आती थी, वो क्या बोलते हैं, चोर गैंग क्या बोलते हैं, वो चद्दी बनियान गैंग. Gone are the days. Now the gangs are very. If any movie you see nowadays, any movie, any crime movie, first they would have a cyber consultant with them. Any movie you see, any you just see any crime serial, there would be one, and not only that, but I'd seen a few that lady, female gender cyber consultant. You see the movie, I had seen The Jailer. You see any movie, so you see, why I'm sharing this with you is if I want to make my son a lawyer, if I want to make my son a doctor, but I can make my son a cyber consultant. I can make my son an information system consultant. Is the day. I tell you, like I was just listening to one thing. like the car, you have it. Okay. The car, you have a data, and the data they are selling to, say for example, Nissan, or say for some companies, they are selling the data and getting money. And I'm not ready to, I'm inclined to say, but I'm saying, what are the sexual activity done in the car is also recorded there. So where is your privacy? So privacy law has been implemented in EU. And the same is going to be implemented in India also. So nowadays, I can go and talk on every subject. How the India has changed differently. India is viewed differently. But India is far behind in case of information system regarding the budget which is being allotted by the top management. Very miser. First, they would have a least priority to talk to you. If you call on any MD, any board of director, they would not see your report also. But एक बार बैंड बज जाएगी, फिर आ जाएंगे तुम्हारे पास. So cyber is the time. Cyber is this thing. So with this, I'm concluding with a thanks to Falgun Bhai for a wonderful talk. I was listening from outside. BCP is the time. With this, next Friday, we are going to talk on GST updates. GST is equal to, government is 18% of your partner in your profit, not profit, on your sales. So your profit may be, suppose you're making 100 rupees turnover. At the end of the day, you may be earning 5 rupees, 5%, or say 3%, 4%. 5% is for a professional, or like doctor or CA or something, lawyer. But for others, it would be hardly 5 to 3%. So government is going to be the partner in your business. So when government is a partner, what they will ask for? And what records you have to keep? How much days you have to keep record? And what are the changes in the law? What is very important, which I'm going to discuss. And very recent changes, I'm going to discuss on next Friday. Same time, 6:30. With this, those who want CP, once again, inform me. We will take care of your CP awards. Thank you very much. Thank you, Falgun Bhai, and thank you all for seeing you once again. And this recording would be available on the portal. Thank you once again. Thanks.